What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another late night in the BrewLab with me, Lone Fox, your Brewmaster-in-Chief. And tonight, in the BrewLab, I'm coming at you with another episode of Serious Jank. You know, it's that type of jank that could actually be quite serious. So without further ado, let's jump into tonight's brew. I'm calling it the Undertaker. And man, this name was just there for the taking. It is, of course, because we are featuring a full playset of the Fleshtaker and a full playset of the Tenacious Underdog. Get it? The Undertaker? I loved it. Anyway, I'm going to do the usual. Take it from the top, describe the deck for you from left to right. I'll explain to you why it is that I picked the card, how it is that it synergizes with the other cards in the deck, and trust me, there are many of synergies in this one. And then what some of the various play lines, you know, that you could come across during your typical game might be. Then we'll jump into some gameplay footage where I will hopefully illustrate as many of those play lines and interactions for you against some opponents. And then we will jump back in at the end with my final thoughts, overall deck review, potential upgrades, modifications, that sort of thing. So, we're starting off with a full playset of the Star Pupil. Seems a little unassuming, but this is an aristocrats, human tribal sacrifice deck, and therefore this just makes absolutely perfect sense. When it enters the battlefield, it comes into play with a +1/+1 counter on it, and when it dies, you can put that counter onto another creature you control. If it was just that, it would be a little bit pathetic. You know, ooh, all it does is it dies and puts a +1/+1 counter on something else. Meh. But oh man, I'll explain the chain of interactions once, and then that'll save me from doing it again a million of times throughout this gameplay footage. But let's just say, for example, you have on the battlefield a Fleshtaker, a Meathook Massacre, a Jerren, and a Morbid Opportunist. Of course, having all of those on the battlefield all together at any one given time is not so easy to obtain, but even if it's just a few of those, great. But if you've got all three, and you start off a sacrifice chain where using one of the many sack outlets, be it a Rite of Oblivion, be it the Fleshtaker's activated ability, be it a Silverquill Command, what have you. There's many ways that we have of sacrificing or just having things die. Then the synergies are endless. The Star Pupil would die. It's a human, so when it dies, Jerren says, whenever Jerren, the Corrupted Bishop, enters the battlefield or another non-token human you control dies, you lose 1 life, you create a 1/1 white human creature token. So, first synergy, Star Pupil dies, you put the +1/+1 counter somewhere, probably on Jerren. You lose a life, you make a 1/1. If you have the Meathook Massacre in play, that life loss is mitigated, because whenever a creature you control dies, each opponent... Oh, sorry, it's not mitigated. You only gain life when an opponent creature dies, but still, you're pinging you're draining the opponent for 1 life, and you're getting the Jerren trigger. Then, if you've also got Morbid Opportunist in play, that's 1 or more creatures dying this turn. You draw a card. This ability only triggers once each turn. If you also have the Fleshtaker in play, whenever you sacrifice another creature, you gain 1 life, and you scry 1. The triggers usually arrange themselves favorably, but if they don't, maybe go into your settings here. I do bring this up occasionally, but if you go into gameplay, you have this option here, auto order triggered abilities. Disable that. Make sure that your triggers go Fleshtaker, then Opportunist, because then whenever you sacrifice another creature, you gain 1 life, scry 1. So you gain 1 life, you get to look at the top card of your library. If you like it, good. You're going to be drawing it off of the Opportunist. If you don't like it, bottom it, you'll draw the next one. So great little bit of filtering there between the Fleshtaker and the Opportunist. That's really about it. And this can happen with so many different things. You can either Rite of Oblivion a Star Pupil and start off that whole chain. You can Fleshtaker has a sack outlet. You pay 1 colorless. You can start off the whole chain by just sacrificing something to a Fleshtaker. The Tenacious Underdog can just die by itself, and you know that because of the way Blitz is worded, sacrifice it at the beginning of your next end step. So it's being sacrificed, you get all of the same triggers again. Rite of Oblivion something, because it exiles target non-land permanent, but you are sacrificing a non-land permanent to cast the Rite of Oblivion. Again, trigger all of the same synergies I just mentioned. So just a lot going on there. If you've got all three of those on the board and you just start off one of these sack chains, it's a lot of value. You get to draw cards, gain life, make tokens, blah, 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 blah. If you're doing that with the Tenacious Underdog, you're also drawing an additional card because of the Blitz ability. So it's like 2 cards drawn, drain the opponent twice, you know, make human tokens off of Jerren. Like, the amount of stuff that happens is mental. The whole aim of the deck, of course, it's not the only win con, but it's what we're really here to do today, is to arrive at a situation where we have exactly 13 life at the beginning of your next end step, and we have 6 mana open, so that we can flip Jerren into Ormendahl the Corruptor. I've had it happen twice in testing today, and that is 2 more times than I've ever had it to happen ever in my time on Arena. So I think, because this is an old shell, we've played this deck before back in the day. We didn't have the Tenacious Underdog then. I think this is really what's going to help us. Because if we're trying to manipulate our life total to get to exactly 13, that every time you're blitzing in the Tenacious Underdog, we lose 2 life. Then we're gaining 1 life whenever it gets sacrificed with the Fleshtaker. Then, because it gets sacrificed, we're losing another life from the Jerren. There's a lot of this, like, up and down. We can also pay 2 colorless and give a human we control lifelink until end of turn. So there's a lot of ways in the deck that we can manipulate our life total. And we're really trying our best to get it so that we have exactly 13 life and we can flip this guy, because Ormendahl the Corruptor is freaking amazing. 6/6 Frampling lifelink, free sack outlet, draw a card for every creature you sacrifice. Usually by that point we've generated a bunch of these little humans. You can just sack a bunch of them to Ormendahl and you know, draw a bunch of cards and swing in for 6 Frample lifelink. Freaking nice. So yeah, I'm getting a little lost, but we do have also full playset of the Meathook Massacre, Rite of Oblivion, Silverquill Command is our removal. Meathook Massacre doesn't need reintroduction. Rite of Oblivion I've already touched upon. The flashback is great, which means we can essentially cast it 8 times during a match, even though we've only got 4 copies in the deck. And then Silverquill Command, one of the options is target opponent sacrifices a creature. So lots of ways of getting rid of stuff, but the other options in Silverquill Command are also really, really nice. Target creature gets +3/+3 and gets flying until end of turn. You can put that on a Fleshtaker and then start sacrificing your 1/1 humans willy-nilly and just make it a huge flying Fleshtaker. Also give it lifelink potentially. Lots of sweet synergies. But also returning a creature card with mana value 2 or less from the graveyard to the battlefield. You know, if they kill our Fleshtaker, please note that it is multicolored, so it dodges Vanishing Verse, but we can bring back a Tenacious Underdog or a Star Pupil to, you know, sacrifice again, put more counters on things. And then target player draws a card, loses 1 life. We're often targeting ourselves so we can draw a card and also, again, manipulate our life total to where we want it. But sometimes the opponent is just on 1 life, and that can win us the game. And then Spiteful Squad is just like an upgraded Star Pupil. It costs a little bit more to cast, but it does have Death Touch, so it makes a great blocker. And then when it dies, it puts its counters wherever you want. And this time it's 2 counters instead of 1. So it's another great sack fodder. Great blocker, and also going to help us grow our important threats so that they don't get as easily removed by things like Meathook Massacre or, you know, red removal. Important to note with the Fleshtaker as well. The opponent goes to Meathook Massacre for X's 2. You sacrifice something, you make your Fleshtaker a 4/4, it dodges the Massacre. It's like the only real way we have of dodging Meathook Massacre is to grow your creatures more than the X that the opponent declared. So as long as you've got like 1 or 2 lands left open and a few of these little 1/1 humans or anything else, just, yeah, in response to the opponent's Meathook Massacre while it's on the stack, sacrifice a bunch of stuff. Not only is that going to make it so that there's less things for the opponent's Meathook Massacre to kill, so they gain less life. But also, you get to grow the Fleshtaker big enough so that it doesn't get hit by the Meathook Massacre. So just all in all, freaking nice. It dodges Vanishing Verse and Meathook Massacre, which are two of the biggest problems as far as removal goes in the format. I think that's it. That's enough playlines and interactions and synergies. There's probably lots more that I haven't quite come around to, but we'll discover it during tonight's gameplay footage. As far as the mana base goes, we've got 2 caves, 2 hives, 1 seat, 1 abandoned mire, 2 Field of Ruins, because we have no instant speed removal for creature lands, so we did need some of that, and then some duels and some basics. That's the deck. Undertaker version 1. Let's jump into some games. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts in the comments down below. Like, how would you build this differently? I feel like this is really like the type of deck that I like. It's like aggro slash combo slash just loads of synergies, plenty of stuff, always lots of interaction, drawing cards, but it's not quite doing things the way I wish it would. As far as, you know, rank ladder goes. But I think with just a couple of adjustments, this could actually get pushed into a, if not tier 1, just a deck worth considering for sure. Ooh. Okay. We'll just do a X as 1 Meathook. Valky? Sultai lands? I have a sneaking suspicion there's a... Okay, never mind. Never mind. Interesting, interesting. Massacre for 3. He needs to get to 5 lands. We've got a bit of time to go before this will happen. Bulky number 2. Now you see my Rite of Oblivion, and you weep. Oh, come on. Let me do things. I'm going to bring in the Fleshtaker. He probably should have taken the Fleshtaker. Bring in the Fleshtaker, Rite of Oblivion, the Valky. Triggers, triggers, triggers. Ooh. On to the next one. Game 1 victory, albeit in unranked, does feel pretty good. Oh, have I missed good Belgian beer? I love Africa, but they don't have left. This is a tycoon. Pretty sweet card. I've been looking at this one in a gruel list. Okay, deck, that's enough lands now. Thank you. It's the 6 we need for Jerren. Let's leave it at that. I think Meathook Massacre is going to be very nice in this matchup. Can't attack or block. It's not terrible. Do you just play another Jerren? Yeah, man. Sure. Nice. I've been looking at this card as well. Very nice. Can do an excess 3. But I think okay, we're on 13. What? Was not expecting a naturalist. Whew. Okay. Ay. That perfect top deck. The biggest crock of shit. Nice. Sure. Draw another card. That's just great. Okay. Very nice. Nice. Very nice. Opponent. It's a treasure. We draw a card. Ooh. Fleshtaker. Nice game. Oh, baby, baby. Just to really put the nail in the coffin. God, I love it. I love it. It's so much fun. Ew. I was worried there for a second, but worked out alright. I'm saving up gold because I want to run a couple of standard events. Probably going to be doing that tomorrow. Try and get some of these play-in points. Zet. Not the best, but doable. Sure. Oh, life gain. Yawn. I might just scoop. I might. If it's like a voice of the blessed. Okay. I was not expecting a mountain at all. Yeah, it's stuffed. I have a feeling there's going to be a Righteous Valkyrie coming my way very soon. Okay. Wow. Interesting. Interesting. Three toughness is not terrible. That's a problem. Ish, kind of. Not really. You got Death Touch, baby. Woo! Gold Span. One of these degenerate brews. Need Rite of Oblivion like right now. Takes my swamp off of the curse. Oh dear God. Drawing two cards, potentially. Oh God. Oh God, no. Anything but this. Okay, well, we can't even... Oh my goodness. Are you kidding me? What a joke. Unbelievable. What an absolute joke. Get stuffed. What the hell was that? Alright. Well played, opponent. Polite clap. On to the next one. Angel Fire Ignition, Gold Span Dragon. You. come on. I want to flip a Jerren tonight. On camera. That will just make my day. There's a Jerren. And Tenacious. 1, 2, 3. Rite of Oblivion for removal. That's a very nice hand. There comes our good friend. Obnix. Guaranteed. Fine. Watch him have another voltage surge just ready and waiting. Haven't tested this deck against Obnix yet. Oh, for God's sakes, give me a break, man. This is the new tech in this deck. Such a sweet card. Oh, God. That won't do it. Whew. All right. Oh, what? Come on. Really? The people in Unranked are such little fickle people. We were just about to have fun. The number of times that people sacrifice their harvester expecting to kill something and they don't quite do it is more often than you'd think. It's double the number of blood tokens. If you only have the 1, it's 2 damage, not 4. Or whatever they think it is. Brutal Cathar? Already? Sure. mono white that hasn't played anything in 3 turns is pretty strange. Okay, deck, that's enough lands now. Thank you very much. Okay, white colorless. Some jank going on here. Misaleki. Okay. 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 Another land. Thank you. Definitely needed that. We just don't want the Ormendahl exiling anything. So even though he still gets to keep there we go. Ormendahl, huh? Interesting. The jank is strong with this one. How are we doing for time? Yeah, this may end up being one of the final matches of the night. We get to scry first, then draw. What is with this floodfest of note? That's enough lands, thank you. Holy crap. The Rite of Oblivion is such a threat. Oh my god. What is going on with this? Okay, sure. Lol, 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 lol. We're doing things. You. It's enough Opportunists. Nah, we'll save that for their turn so we get an extra scry and draw for our turn. Needs 3 life gain to make this. Alright, probably should have sacked that earlier, but it's okay. Nah. Oh god. Oh dear god. Well, we can just win with the Massacre if he doesn't block. I could have swung in with the Hive, but just want the game to go on a little longer. Come on, tell me you found something super sweet. Otherwise we just win. Without flipping Jerren once. Woohoo! Sure. There's the Rite of Oblivion. Wow, what a floodfest. No underdogs this match. Again, I could have just swung with the Hive, but I'm trying to. Well, we won't flip the Jerren. It's a pity. Oh, wait. Watch this. Woohoo! Just really... Oh, baby. Oh, 31 minus 9. Alright, guys. That's gonna be it for tonight's video. We've arrived at the 45-minute mark. We did not get to flip Jerren, but some pretty sweet wins nonetheless. Did not take it for a spin on the rank ladder as I thought I might, but it still doesn't feel ready. But I do think there's something to this. I really would love to hear all your thoughts in the comments. How can we take this to the next level? As far as I'm concerned, it's about as good as it gets right now, but I think I've probably missed some synergies. There's some stuff that could be cut, right? Like we could trim a command, we could trim a massacre, We could trim a Spiteful Squad. We could trim a Jerren because he's legendary. That's another 4 cards we could add to the deck. It's also quite low to the ground. We might be able to trim a land here or there. There's definitely space to wiggle. There's some wiggle room here. Some creatures that I did consider were, you know, our humans with flying, to get a little bit of other flying other than just the +3/+3 and flying from the Silverquill Command. There's some notable, you know, worthy to mention, namely the Elite Spellbinder, really, which could be quite nice in the deck to get a little bit of additional hand manipulation. But otherwise, I'm quite happy just the way to leave things just the way they are for now. So that's going to be it for tonight's gameplay footage. Don't forget, guys, to like, comment, and subscribe. Like I said yesterday, more than half of you watch the videos, don't subscribe. I'd love to get you all on board. We're going to be doing a nice big giveaway at 700. So welcome. Come join the BrewLab. But yeah, I will see you all tomorrow with some fresh brews. And until then, this is Lone Fox from the BrewLab, signing out. Peace, y'all.